My name's Captain Jimmy Lozar, and I'm bi-coastal. I work offshore sailfish tournaments and fish the backcountry nearshore waters of the Florida Keys on a daily basis. We're going to head out into here what's known as Florida Bay. Talk a little bit about Islamorada, fishing, music, and those three things are real close to my heart. We're just leaving the Lorelei docks. I've been here 16, 17 years. Started off working out of Bud & Mary's as an offshore deckhand. I guess that was 1980. First day down here was 1953. My grandfather had a place to fish down here. Fishing all the major fly tournaments, tarpon and bonefish. My favorite fish and fishing is tarpon and bonefish with the fly rod, and billfish on anything. The one thing that has been real good to me, I guess both for business and soul, is the fly fishing. And I think once you fly fish, it's kind of hard to go back to anything else. You can do the other things. We have to do all things. It's just so much fun to do. It's got this exclusivity attached to it that it doesn't deserve. Once again, I was fortunate to work with some of the best. Cecil Keith and Roger Martin took me under their wing. Chris Miller and Skippy Nielsen. I think we won 19 sailfish tournaments together. Well, what we're doing right here is we're poling, and this is stealth mode. So what we're doing here is we'll be looking for tarpon, bonefish, redfish, a lot of different species, and then we cast to them. So it's sight fishing, which means you see the critter you're trying to catch. It's hunting, fishing, and throwing darts is what it is. We're hunting right now, and then it requires accurate casting with either the fly rod, bait, or plug. One of the great things about this kind of fishing, not that I don't like offshore, I mean, I cut my teeth on the offshore fishing. What I like about this kind of fishing is that when you're arrived at the fishing grounds, you shut the engine off, and it's just quiet. And you're not smelling the diesel fumes. You and the angler can talk, and you can teach somebody how to cast a fly in 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. But if a person doesn't have an interest in it, he's not going to practice enough to get good at it. And the casts that we use in freshwater are different, and the tactics are different that we use in saltwater. So one of the most frustrating things for some people is to come down here after fishing 20 years in the trout stream, trying to adapt to casting a 70-foot streamer fly into the wind at a tarpon or bonefish, whatever. The first time I saw a tarpon hooked on a fly, it was years ago, and I started swearing like a sailor, and the guy I was with looked over at me and said, "What's your problem?" I said, "Well, there goes the rest of my life." I just knew it right there. That was the end of it. It was just too cool. It's like rodeo on the water, You're throwing you're throwing chicken feathers at 100-pound fish, and they're actually eating them. This here's a fly rod. Fly rods are kind of like guns. You know, you have different kinds of guns for different prey. Well, you know, 22 for rabbits and squirrels and whatever for elephant, but same thing applies with fly rods. You got, they're called different weights, and they run, oh, actually now even from 0 up to 15, 16, something like that. This here's a 9 weight overloaded with a 10 line. Probably doesn't mean much to you, but different rods seems to me need different lines. At any rate, a little bit about it. There's about 100 feet of fly line, and that would be this vinyl coated Dacron. And then you got 12 to 14 feet monofilament with a fly. And unlike other kinds of fishing, it's not the weight of the lure or the bait that takes itself out there. It's the first 30 feet of this fly line. The next 70 feet is demonstrably thinner. So you have to get that 30 feet or so of fat part out of the rod to make the whole thing work. So it looks something like this. And you notice, try to make nice tight loops up here. If you break the rod too much forward or backwards, you open up the loop and it acts like a parachute and kills your cast. So you want nice tight loops, and when you let go, you stop quickly and let her fly. Then we're trying to make that thing look as if it's alive, and so I get my rod tip down so that everything that happens with my left hand happens out there to fly. And so I'm making it hop through the water, looking like a little crab, little shrimp, maybe a little minnow, depending upon the fly. And this is basically a bonefish rig. You could use it for a number of different things, but right now I got a little bonefish fly on. And we're on the edge of a flat, and it'd be wonderful if we had a school of bonefish swim by, but that would be a lot to ask. Once again, it looks something like this. The thing about it is, it's just so damn much fun. Now, I'm throwing with the wind over my left shoulder. If I was trying to turn around and throw this way, that fly would hit me in the head. So you have to develop different tactic for a fish that's on that side of the boat. One of my good friends, David Boris, when queried by a customer about why you had to have a backcast, said because the other half of the ocean's on that side of the boat. And I thought that was brilliant. But you could do it a couple different ways. You can do an easy backcast like this, get it over there. Or you can do a preferred method of backcasting, I guess, which is bringing it over your left shoulder, looking right at it. And if you got too much time on your hands, you just learn how to throw it left-handed. But this keeps the fly from hitting you in the head, which is a good thing. Point, in fact, all of my hooks are barbless, and it's as much self-protection as it is concerned for the animals. I get hit with flies on a daily basis, maybe not daily, but enough to know that a hook comes out a lot easier when it's barbless than when it has a barb. And I don't see much difference in the catch ratio to hookups with a barbless hook anyway. And it is less traumatic to the fish. Use your Venn diagrams. A is B, B is C, therefore A is C. There you go. Oh, we got something on it. We get something on it. What's that? Something's on it. Something's on it, Toby. Something's on it. Yes, he is. Little fish, little bitty. Look at him jump. Look at him. I got him. Oh, I almost had him. Come on. What was it? Little bitty fish, guys. Nothing to get excited about. But you cast often enough, sooner or later, you're going to find something. We just had a little baby cootie chasing the fly. You know what? It's just fun to throw the fly rod. I've said that before, but sometimes I'll take myself out and just stake up. And anymore, you know, it really doesn't make. I'd like to see fish, but if it doesn't happen, it's just a ball being with this dog. on this boat. I've had this boat since 1983. There we go. I got something. I don't know what the hell I got. What is it, Tope? What did we get? Little baby cooter. Lost a little bit of fly to that barracuda. A cross between two songs. One is Jesus just left Chicago. Don't you know he's bound for the Florida Keys? Jesus just left Chicago. Don't you know he's bound for the Florida Keys? Don't you know he was bound for the Florida Keys? Man, do something. You want to go to the bar? Jesus just left when the women's crazy and the men's is lazy, we all just do what we please. Don't you know he was bound for the Florida Keys? Stop Memphis, Tennessee. Macon, Georgia, and all points between. Must have been something that was cold up there. Wasn't just the weather, it was the people too. I caught the first thing smoking. Turn it south and sail on through. Yeah, Jesus left Chicago. He was bound for the Florida Keys.